Today on DIY Solar Power with Papa, we're starting up our 3.5 ton upstairs AC, and we're looking to see what our draw is going to be. Oh, there we go. We saw that. We'll go back and take a look at that in a minute. So our 3.5 tons started up, and it looks like we're using about 8.3 amps on here. If we look on this, see if we can so we just started up this 3.5 ton AC at 6:45 in the morning, just using 4 AGM batteries and our 12 kilowatt Growatt low frequency off-grid inverter that surges to 36,000 watts to start up motors and compressors like this. Let's go inside and take a look on the Growatt and see what we have in there as far as what we have coming into our inverter from our solar panels. Oops. Okay. So on our Growatt, we have 51.1 volts right there on our battery. If we look, we have 100 volts coming in on our solar panels, 19 amps, 1,000 watts coming in on our panels. And if we look down below here, we're at a 17% load. We're at 2001 kilovolts, and we're 1.4, just a little bit under 2,000 watts running on this thing, and we're running 19 amps. So if we look back on our amps, we're bringing in around 19 amps. So we're bringing in pretty much what we're running. Now, what we're doing with this is we're running this all day long until 5:30. And by doing that, we're being able to super cool our house upstairs and keep that so cold that when this turns off at 5:30 on the schedule, now I've got this set on a schedule right now to go on and off. So everything's pretty much automatic on this. Now this will cool down the house in the upstairs to about 62 to 64 degrees in the bedrooms, and it'll shut off at 5:30. Now you think that's kind of cold, but when you turn the fan off and you turn the air conditioner off and there's no air movement, it's not that cold, but the walls and everything in the rooms are extremely cold. That, when it's 106 degrees like it's been between 100 and 106 degrees the last 3 weeks. We've done this for 3 weeks, and our air conditioner, we put this back onto the grid overnight from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. And our air conditioner is never kicked down once in the middle of the night. And we set our thermostat at 78. So it's usually between 74 and 76 degrees when we get up in the morning at 5:30. And our house has been completely cooled overnight from running this AC on solar all day long, no cost to us, just running it completely on solar power. And we're running this to keep our house completely air conditioned all day long. So if you're thinking about, can you run your AC and cool your house for 24 hours on solar? Yes, you can. If you don't have a big battery bank, which we're building ours, we're going to be building it up where we're going to have like 3 to 4 of these lithium iron phosphates batteries. Right now we have mostly AGMs. We have this connected to 4 AGMs in series to make 48 volts, and then down below we have another 4, and those are in parallel. And you can see that we're still running at 50.1 volts on our 48 volt system. And this is the only thing that will start up that 3.5 ton, and right next to it we have a 4 ton whole house heat pump. Now the difference between that heat pump out there and this right here, this is a mini split. When this thing surges, it surges a lot of current, and the voltage drop is, it was like 56.4 volts on this before I started it up, and it dropped down to about 51.5 volts, and now it's settled in around 50.1 volts. The biggest difference is that voltage drop and current surge, as where when you go to start this up, I'll show you on this one, turn the power on this, and when we go to start up this mini split heat pump, we're gonna set this thing, oops, there we go, load. The load will be split between these two. This is a 240 volts on this as well. Now our load, when we go to start this up, will just ramp up slowly. It's starting out at 37 watts. Takes a little bit of time for this thing to get going, but this is basically, there we go, now it's starting up. See how it's just slowly creeping up? See how that just slowly creeps up on this voltage using the current. So it's not a quick draw like the amp surge and the voltage drop over there that we have. This is just slowly going up. And if you see, this is on, I have this on 2 legs, so it's pretty much split. See, between these two. So we're now up, we're actually using around 870 watts, and we're blowing out probably 40-degree air right now on this. Now we're up to around close to 900 watts for this 18,000 BTU 240 volt mini split. This will cool like 1,000 square feet. Now we're hanging right around 900, right around 900. So if we go 900 watts to run this thing right now, our battery bank is at 52.5, and we're drawing 16 amps out of our battery right now because we don't have sun on these panels. So we have no amps coming in on our solar. So we're actually drawing 16 amps out of this right now. And if we look down on our lithium ion phosphate, we can see that it's pulling, the current draw is 19 amps, 20 amps right now. And our state of charge is 94%. Our voltage is 52.7, and it says we're discharging. Now we're up to 21.3, 21.7 amps. So that's on that mini split. Over here, if we look at our whole house, we're bringing in 25 amps right now, 1.26 kilowatts. And our load is 17% of 12,000 watts. And still under 2,000 watts on this. But see, we're only draining 13 amps out of this right now on that 3.5 ton whole house heat pump. And over here, this one's drawing 22 amps out of my battery bank. And this is only 18,000 BTUs. That's 35,000 BTUs. That's a 3.5 ton. I'm sorry. That'd be 42,000 BTU upstairs air conditioner. And this is only 18,000. And this is actually drawing more amps right now out of my battery bank than this. This is down to 13 amps right now, pulling out of my battery. And we have 26 coming in, but we have nothing coming in on this right there. Now, this takes probably about 30 seconds to a minute to start blowing cold air, as where that main house heat pump takes, maybe about 30 seconds to start blowing cold air. So looking back at this, it's still holding at 50 volts on our 48 volt battery bank. There it goes, it's dropping a little bit. It'll do that for the next half hour or so, and then it'll start climbing and get up to 56 volts because the sun's at such a shallow angle in the sky. You can see it's now 4 minutes to 7, and out in our garage it is about 76 degrees, and we pretty much keep it between 65 and 75 degrees running this all day long. So if we look at the amount of energy that we're using on these two, right now this is much more efficient running that heat pump upstairs, and they're both running on 240 volts. It looks like that upstairs is much more efficient. Now, this is the only ductwork on this mini split, so this is just blowing in one room. That one upstairs, we have a bathroom, 4 bedrooms. One of those bedrooms is the master, and that has got to be about 600 or 700 square feet up there, if not bigger. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vents going into that master bedroom bathroom. And we just have this one vent out here. So if you want to cool down a room, you can cool down 1,000 square feet. This would cool that room down. But you're going at one side of the room, blowing it, a good 70 feet, 60, 70 feet to the other end of the room. As we're with that main air conditioner upstairs, we have all those vents, 6 vents across that room, blowing cold air into every one of those rooms. And they're different size vents because the bathroom's only like 6 by 5. It's not a very big bathroom. So starting this thing up early in the morning, you won't be using, still at 12 amps over here. We're at 24 amps pulling out of our battery over here. Now, this, once it reaches the temperature, will drop down. If we go back and take a look at our watts that we're using on this thing right now, we're using 650, so we're using 1,300 watts at 24 amps. So over here we're using 2,000 watts, and we're drawing 12, 13 amps out of our battery. I really like this Growatt. This is 12,000 watts. Right now, we have 46 panels connected to this. 46 250 watt used panels. And this is an off-grid pure sine wave low frequency inverter. It weighs 186 pounds. It's not easy getting that mounted on the wall. As where that's low frequency, these other ones, they can't start that up. We're going to try putting a transformer on there, 120 volt, 240 split phase transformer on there to see if that'll help with that surge. Because when we try to start it up with either one of these split phase or dual voltage, we do 120 or 240 off of only this one and this one. This one is only 120 volt output, but if I paired it up with another one of these, then I could get split phase and get 240 volts out of it. Those MPP inverters are only 120 volts out. So we run our appliances, our fridge and freezers and lights overnight on these because they're much more efficient. The draw on these is like 10 to 15 watts at no consumption whatsoever. This over here is like 200 watts, no consumption, just to have this thing so I can plug something in and run it overnight. So these are much more efficient to run overnight. So I'll keep all these things running during the day. This runs that air conditioner all day long for 11 to 12 hours. We could start this thing up at probably 5:45 right now and recover it to where it would drop down to about 47, 48 volts on the battery bank, but then it would start to go up. We're just barely starting to go up to 50.1 here, but we're hanging at that 50 volts. And the air conditioner's been on for about 17 minutes upstairs, and it was 76 degrees upstairs. So starting running this early in the morning like this, just using solar, no grid. We haven't used any grid power to run any AC in our house for over 3 weeks now. And it's been 100 to 106 out here during the day, and then high 60s, low 70s at night. And we've kept our house completely air conditioned 24 hours a day to where grid power has not turned on to run that air conditioner at night because we super cool our house. So yes, you can run air conditioning off of solar. You have to cool your house down by 5:30 the way we do, and then it will stay cold overnight. When we got up this morning, it was 74 degrees in the house when it was 103 degrees out yesterday during the day. So we absolutely didn't have to use any air conditioning because the house was so super cool. If we go back and right now, we haven't been running our air conditioner downstairs at all. It's set at 78 degrees. I don't know if you can see that, but it's 75. The cool air from upstairs, from that upstairs, has dropped down and already dropped 1 degree down here on our thermostat without doing anything downstairs at all. That cool air will drop, and we'll turn those mini splits. We'll turn 1 to 2 of those mini splits on in about an hour or two. But you can see that this is still running. Started up very easily, and we have this right now. This is the power going in, and this is the power going out. So that's our upstairs solar, and we have that fuse pole in there. Now we have it running over here. If you look in there, there's no fuse pole. This is our, this right here is our grid power coming in. This is our solar power. And you see that there's nothing in there. So at nighttime, sorry about the noise on that fan there, but at nighttime, we'll take the fuse out of this one over here and put it in this one, so that if the air conditioner does want to kick on, we use our grid power, because right now we don't have enough battery bank power to run this, to start this. We can start it up, but we're only going to run it for like half hour, and then we're going to drain our battery bank. So we're working on increasing our battery bank to where we can have this run 24 hours a day off of solar and battery bank. I said that's a 4-ton. So in a little bit, we will turn on this mini split. This is the outside unit. That's a 1-ton, 12,000 BTU, 120 volt. We'll turn that on. And that will be for this mini split right here, right above our patio door. Now that thing blows all the way down that kitchen, and it'll cool that entire kitchen and keep it at 68 to 72 degrees all day long. Right now, we're at 75 degrees, but we'll drop that down to about 68 by like 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning. So just want to let you know, you can air condition your house off of solar. And if you don't have a large battery bank, you can just super cool your house to get it down cool enough to where it stays cold overnight without any AC running whatsoever. Now, if I wanted to, I have that battery bank right there. I could run that, a mini split upstairs in one of the master bedroom, and I could run a mini split on this downstairs overnight if I really wanted to in an emergency. But the house is super cold, so even when it's 106 degrees outside, the AC never kicks on at night because it's just super cold. And we've done a lot of insulating things in our house. To take a look at that, some of the things that we've done, we put this in, so when I'm running the air conditioner during the day, I could pull this thing down, and that'll keep that heat coming in from that window. We have these blinds on here, and all we do is just open or close those. We can keep this open all day long if we wanted to. I was just closing that for that early morning sun. But we'll keep these open all day long. Now, if we really wanted to cool the room down, up in here, we have blackout blinds that are right behind there. They're hidden in there. I've got them on there, here, up there. You can't see them in there, but they're blackout blinds on all these. So if it got to be like 120 degrees, I could drop those blackout blinds down, close these, and that would really insulate the room. The other thing we did was we put paper blinds up there that help insulate those upper windows right there. And those help with keeping that heat out. Now, right here, we also have these blinds, very easy to install on these windows. See, that one's half up. That one's completely closed. That helps so much to keep the sun. Like right now over here, we have the sun coming in here, which will heat up this room. And if we pull that down, these are light filtering shades. We still have light coming in. We don't need to turn a light on in here because those are light filtering. This is also a light filtering shade. And this helps to insulate this entire part of the house. So you have the window right there. And we did that. So those keep this downstairs extremely cool. Now, upstairs we have blown-in insulation on this attic. And we put in a new front door. We replaced all of the whole door frame came with the door. So we replaced that, brand new seals on these doors. They have a brand new seal on there. And that really insulates it well. In our garage, we have this AC running out here. It's already cold. It's says it's about 70, right around 76 degrees, and it's 7:10 in the morning. In our garage, this will, like I said, it'll be 65 to 75 degrees. We have this insulation on here that is foam insulation. I painted over it, and you can see it's underneath that. So I painted all that. That's 2-inch foam insulation on there. And on the garage door over here, it's 1.5 insulation in the door, and then above that's another 1.5. So that's 3 inches of insulation on the garage door. That thing's metal and the sun shines on that. It gets like 180 degrees. So right now, that is probably about 70 degrees on that garage door, insulating that. So this is now still using 24 amps. And if we take a look, how many watts we're using here. We're around 1200 watts. As we're over here on our main one, we're pulling in 2.1 kilowatts, 51 volts. Oops. We are 18% load, 2.16 kilowatts. We're pulling nothing out of our battery right now. And we're keeping our battery at 50.8, so it's been going up. 109 on our panels coming in. We got 41 amps coming in. So we're charging our battery, 18% load on that 12,000 watts. So just a little bit over 2,000 watts on that air conditioner upstairs. And this is 1,200 watts, but it's draining my battery of 23 to 24 amps right now. Now I won't have those panels in the sun there for a while, and our battery state of charge is 86%. It was 96 earlier, I believe. And you can see we're drawing out 24.6 amps on that, and we're discharging it, and it's at 52.5 volts. So right now there's no sun on this. We're going to go ahead and turn this off. The nice thing about this, we also have a same air conditioner I showed you above my patio door. This is a 12,000, 120 volt mini split, 1 ton. And this is for about a 500 to 600 square foot room, as where this one is 18,000. This is for about 1,000 square foot room. So I can run both of those, and that's equivalent to a 3 ton. If I really wanted to chill it down in here, I could chill it down really easy, and it's all off of solar. So this is amazing. This Growatt inverter It's just been a game changer to be able to start up my main 3.5 ton and 4 ton AC and be able to run those. I only run my 3.5 ton upstairs and I run one mini split downstairs, and that's it. And that keeps my house 66 to 68 degrees upstairs, and the bedrooms are 60 to 63 degrees because that thermostat's in the hallway. And then downstairs, it's 68 to 72 degrees when this thing turns off. We shut down our air conditioners at 5:30 in the afternoon. Now the sun's staying up till 7:20, so that's almost 2 hours of sunshine still beating on the house on the west side on a 2-story house. And it's still keeping the house where it's at 74 to 76 degrees upstairs and 76 degrees downstairs when we get up in the morning at 5:30. So 12 hours later, the house is still cooled without the air conditioner running at all. Well, I just wanted to give you an update on the last 3 weeks on this, running this. We used to run these mini splits, 6 mini splits to cool the house. But that mini split was only in 2 rooms upstairs, as where there's 4 bedrooms, a bathroom, a loft, and a master bedroom in the hallway. And with that master, or with that main 3.5 ton air conditioner, that air conditions all that, and it does a really good job. And also that cool air drops down to the first floor and helps to cool the downstairs, because that's a great room in the living room where it's completely wide open, and it's like 18-foot tall ceilings in there, and there's a lot of heat up there. I get on a ladder, an 8-foot ladder, and I just get my head another 3 feet off the ground of standing on the ground. I'm sweating that 3 feet. So where I'm normally 6 foot off the ground, just standing on the ground, I'm 9 feet, and I am sweating like crazy just doing something up there on that ladder. So makes a big difference. Anyways, we'll be working on doing some things up in the attic to cool the attic down, because the attic is one of the areas we either need to blow more insulation in or do something up there. And now that I've got this running the main air conditioners during the day, I might swipe this mini split and put it up in the attic. Run that off of solar and see how much that really drops the attic temperature up there. And I'll have that blowing in there. Now I have 2 solar powered and grid assist, so when the sun goes down, I can plug it in, and that exhaust vent that's solar powered up on the roof uses 50 watts. That'll keep going overnight. And once the sun has gone down, and it'll continue to keep drawing fresh air from the bottom of the roof vents and suck out the hot air from the top part of the roof. And that helps to keep the house cool overnight. Just running, I've got 2 of those up there. One of them's only solar powered. I don't have that plugged in. The other one is. So they do a really good job keeping that. I think the highest my attic was like 115 degrees over the last 3 weeks. And that was with it being 106 degrees outside. So that's not bad. I'm trying to get it down to keep it below 100 degrees during the day. That would help immensely. So then when it gets to 115 degrees, if I can keep that 100 degrees or less up in the attic, I could probably do the same thing. Run these air conditioners all day long for 11, 12 hours, shut them down at like 6:30 at night, and they will not have to kick on. My main air conditioners won't have to kick on. I won't have to use my mini splits. The house will just be super cool to where it stays cold enough all night long, even though it'll be 115 degrees out. So we'll let you know how that goes. We got another month and a half before we hit 115 degrees out here, but it's coming quick. Anyways, please like, share, subscribe, and if you have any comments, let us know. Any comments you have, we'll answer your questions. This is all DIY solar. 2.5 years ago, we knew nothing about solar, mini splits, air conditioners, nothing. We've had no help from anybody. We are doing this all on our own so far, and it has worked out fabulous. We have saved over between 85 and 90% on our grid electric bill, and we're only using like 10 to 12 kilowatts a day, as where before we were running 80 to 120 kilowatts a day doing what we're doing now. Huge savings. Our electric bill should be between $600 and $800 this year for grid out in Arizona, where it is hot, and most people's electric bills get to be $600 to $1,000 a month in the summertime when it's hot out, because they're running 24 hours a day for months. Those air conditioners don't stop working out here. Anyways, hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. See you soon. Bye-bye.